Hi, everyone, and welcome to our show. A very special edition today, talking about Her Majesty's Equestrian Champion. Let's go ahead and bring in Beorn, and he will be here in just one moment. Hey, Beorn.
Hello there.
It's good to see you, my friend. It's been much too long.
It has been. It has been. Seems like we haven't seen folks since sometime last August, maybe.
I know, it's so weird, but they're not here to watch us for a change. But I hope you're well, and hope you and your loved ones are doing well too.
We are indeed.
What are we here for today?
We are here for Her Majesty's Equestrian Champion, and so we are very honored to have us joining today, Her Majesty of Caid Drada.
All right, let's bring her in. She's going to be here in just a moment.
Hi.
There she is. Hello.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
We're good. How are you?
Oh, another day in paradise.
So very exciting. We get to determine your equestrian champion today. But before we get to that part of business, let's first time we've really had an opportunity to talk with you. So let's I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
No, I really mind. No, go ahead.
Well, let's bring it. No. So how long have you been in the SCA?
Well, my first SCA event was back in 2013 in the Kingdom of the East. I went to a crown tourney. And then my first event out here in Caid was Great Western War 2015.
Oh, and were you living in the East or just visiting? Or was
No, my cousin, Baroness Ileana, lived in New York at the time. And she ended up actually moving back out here, which is how I ended up at Great West, like shortly after. But yeah, so I got reeled in and hooked, and here I
am. and in Kingdom, where do you live now?
I'm sorry?
And where do you live in the Kingdom now?
I live in Drybergen.
Oh, the fabled town of Drybergen. It's not a town; it's a barony. It's from just during your reign, it's been very apparent that you're a huge supporter of the arts and sciences, especially when it comes to the performing arts. Has that always been a passion of yours?
Yeah, I come from a family of performers. We're all in theater. We all sing. So it was kind of a natural fit when I decided to, sing at Drybergen Yule. I got outed as a singer. But I do all kinds of arts. I make a lot of stuff. I make favors. I make garb. I hand embroider. So it's making things. I fancy myself a maker, and I love it.
And we just happen to have a performance Laurel on the show at the moment.
I try to be. Yeah, us bards. But no, just thank you so much, Your Majesty, for taking the time out to be here and also get a chance to showcase the equestrian arts. It's something that I know Caid is very passionate about. It's just it's something that not everybody gets to see all the time. So I'm very thankful that you've allowed us to help everybody see the wonderful entries you have.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for hosting.
Well, I have one quick question, and we'll bring in Grace. Just following up. So, do you perform outside the SCA?
I did. I haven't in a long time, but I was a dancer my whole life. So I started taking ballet when I was 2, and I auditioned for the Bolshoi when I was 10. So I've been around. I've done a lot of dance.
That's fantastic. Well, I'd love to speak to you more about that. That's fascinating. But we're here for something else. So I understand as an advisor in this process, you've brought along, who would that be, Beorn?
Well, we are very fortunate that we have with us Duke Patrick O'Malley, who will be joining us and letting us know how he and Her Majesty came about the process of selection.
Oh, hello. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
For hosting.
So just quickly, you are the current Kingdom Equestrian Officer.
I am, have been for quite some time, actually, getting ready to change that. My deputy's going to be taking over soon.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm the current Kingdom Equestrian Officer and the previous Queen's Champion for Equestrian.
And that was a long time you served in that position, right?
Yeah, it was since 2019.
That's crazy.
Ready to hand over the reins, so to say.
I got that. Um,
And we had hoped to have done this in person at Great Western War for Your Majesty, but unfortunately, complications with COVID and lots of events getting piled on top of each other, we were not able to bring the horses to the still abbreviated Great War that we had, which was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, we're getting back to regular schedules now.
right. And, when it comes to the Kingdom Equestrian, Queen's Champion, Equestrian Champion, I said champion twice. It's been around since April of 2001 was the first time that that was a recognized position with Her Excellency Kiarlis, actually. Can you name who the first champion was?
Don't know. I know some of the early equestrians, because Equestrian Kingdom goes back long before that.
Right.
The first king of Caid, Duke Armand, was a very active equestrian.
That's awesome. Yeah, the very first one that had the position as Queen's Champion for Equestrian was Christian de Groot. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but I don't think he's here to complain. And also, one last thing on the Equestrian. We're going to be seeing some exhibition of skills today on these different videos, but this isn't. It doesn't represent everything else that's going on in the equestrian field right now. It's my understanding that along with the regular jousting, there's wooden jousting, correct?
Yeah, so we're doing woodlands jousting. Had been experimental for a fair number of years and is no longer experimental. It's a standard SCA program now, although it's administered at the society level. I'm authorized for woodlands jousting. I did that the same weekend that I won Queen's Champion, so I haven't had a lot of time to play with it since then. But we've got wood jousting, we've got the foam tip jousting, we've got armored mounted combat, mounted to ground combat, which is a whole other scary thing. And then the Rosfecting, or fencing from horseback, done with both steel weapons and with the Rawlings plastic simulators. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that was really getting rolling when COVID kind of slows us down, but everybody's trying to pick back up right now. We're hoping to get a couple of new equestrian practices going within the kingdom over the next year, in addition to the monthly one down here in Calafia.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's a much more robust area. It's growing and expanding what is under the purview of the office and what the equestrians can do. So that's fantastic. And hopefully, like you said, we can get the momentum started back up now that we're able to.
My own background, I'm a little prejudiced to the martial side. We also do a lot of non-martial equestrian stuff, a lot of horsemanship, and one of the big competitions every year at Gulf Wars is the Ride for the Prince, which is basically period dressage horsemanship demonstration, which is a big event at Gulf Wars, and a whole bunch of other things in some equestrian games and the pageantry. We've done it some out here. But they do the opening ceremonies with the crowns of usually between 10 and 18 kingdoms all riding on horseback. So it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to really watch a lot of it at the 50th anniversary, SCA 50th, when they held that. They had their arena and everything. It was awesome to watch. But enough about that. We're here for something else. So at this point, we're going to turn this over to Your Majesty and His Grace, and so we can review the different entrants. So Beorn and I will step away. We'll still be here lurking in the shadows.
So when we set this up, we asked people just to put videos together, just presenting what they do with equestrian and having fun. And so we have a wide range of skill level, from relatively new riders to some pretty advanced riders. Several who have been multiple time Queen's Champions, and mostly wanted everybody to have fun and allow Her Majesty to choose whichever she found most pleasing.
So who's up first?
Who's up first? We have Cara up first.
Okay, let's see it.
This is Duchess Cara, my lady, riding Casper.
I'm Duchess Cara, and I'm riding for Queen's Champion for Drada.
Good boy. Good boy.
Okay, and that was a fun video. She's having a good time.
She looked like she was having fun. Who's up next?
Okay, so this is Sir Gamyl, Baron of Calafia, riding Tiki, which is my horse, which is why she's wearing the Queen's Champion barding under the saddle there, because she was the last Queen's Champion horse. And Gamyl's been riding since childhood. He has a good time.
Gamyl, riding in the honor of Her Majesty Drada, and it'll be a good day.
So that was Gamyl's run. He was having a good time. He does well with the sword. Tiki, my horse, she gets a little excited in the middle of that, and Gamyl gets very focused on what he's hitting. He has a very martial approach to things, and they'll get paying attention, and the horse gets excited, and they can pick up a head of steam.
Yeah, he got going a little bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's has a couple of runs on her where he's so focused on hitting things that at the end he's like, oh yeah, I should do something with this horse instead of dead run. Yeah. Fortunately, nothing bothers him. He's got a great seat.
Well, who's up next?
Next up, we have Tara the Twin riding Casper. And Tara is a fairly new rider. She is working on keeping control and getting the horse to move left and right. She's starting out weaving through some bending poles. She's riding Casper. He's a very, very nice little level-headed Mustang, captured out of the wild in Nevada. Most of this video is at the walk, which is where she's comfortable riding. We encourage everybody to ride within their capability and work their way up so that they don't get themselves hurt. Next up, I think she's riding up to the teeter-totter, which, let's see, is actually, some horses are not so keen on this. And this is just an obstacle to get horses used to going through things and not being flustered. Just that nice upright posture going through the through the course. All right, and that's the end of that one. A nice smile at the end.
At least she looked like she was having fun. You said she's a fairly new rider?
Yep. She's probably ridden half a dozen times or so. I
guess the most important thing is to get out there and try, right?
Yep, get out there and have a good time and take things one step at a time.
Well, she looked great. Better than I could do.
The obstacle. All right, so what do we have up next? The Honorable Lord Niall. Niall is a very experienced rider. I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7-time Queen's champion. Also in the top 10 horse archers currently in the United States.
Cool.
So he put together this video. And Mocha Khan is his horse. Bred and raced by Niall's sister. He does a pretty nice run here. He's got all of his weapons in hand. He's got the lance. He's using the lance for picking up rings and hitting the quintain here. Solid quintain hit. Now he's running through picking up rings on the quintain lance. His horse is used to maintain a canter through a long series because they do a lot of mounted archery. Now he's got the sword. He's taking heads off the top of poles there, simulating riding through peasants. Down around to the rings. Unless we got the rings, the reeds. And here's some of his archery. This is a camera on top of his helmet, riding through a archery course. You'll be able to see some of the shots. He's actually turning and shooting at targets that end up behind him while he's shooting. And as you can see, this was during one of his invasions of the Kingdom of Atenvelt by the Rhua Cat just going by.
Yeah!
And ending back in the arena. Very nice ride. All right, that was a nice run.
That was exciting. I like the bit with the GoPro.
Yeah, the GoPro on his head shooting archery.
Yeah, that was fun. I like it.
All right, and where are we going on to the Honorable Lady Rhua, who is also the Deputy Kingdom Equestrian Officer, about to become Kingdom Equestrian Officer, and along with Niall, a member of the Order of the Golden Lance, our highest mounted award in Kingdom.
Yes, assembled lords and ladies, I would like to introduce you to Lady Rhua Cat Ifrin, member of the Order of the Crescent, member of the Order of the Golden Lance, member of the Order of the Dolphin, member of the Order of the Duelist, member of the Order of the Golden Trident, and for your viewing pleasure, I'd like to give an example of martial prowess on the equestrian field today.
Ride for Your Highness Drada.
Habanyek na curicula, habanyek na curicula, habanyek na curicula, scala mori gavin you aracha mori gavin you aracha mori gavin sehosh lavin rishanim Habanyek na kirikula habanyek na kirikula habanyek na kirikula skalan na gahreim aracha mori gavin you aracha mori gavin you aracha mori gavin sehosh lavin rishanim Habanyek na kirikula, habanyek na kirikula, habanyek na kirikula, skalan na gahreim aracha mori gavin you aracha mori gavin you aracha mori gavin sehosh lavin rishanim Het de kayak, vishavala, het de kayak, vuyur, shiva in the fall, het de kayak, vishavala, het de kayak, vuyur, shiva in the fall. Je kayak, nen kayak, vi kayak, ballen, nen kayak, squishat, de kayak, head of fish, kayak, you will fall off. Je kayak, nen kayak, vi kayak, ballen, nen kayak, squishat, de kayak, head of fish, kayak, you will fall off. Het de kayak, vishavala, het de kayak, vuyur, shiva in the fall off. Het de kayak, vishavala, het de kayak, vuyur, shiva in the fall off. Je kayak, in vuyur, kayak, you will couldn't snow, you could have better, you could have fall off. Je kayak, in vuyur, kayak, you will couldn't snow, you could have better, you could have fall off. Het de kayak, vishavala, het de kayak, vuyur, shiva in the fall off.
All right, that was a fun video.
I like the song. I was trying not to dance over here. It's like
Yeah, she started out on Casper, running through the games, going through the reeds, and she also, when she was picking up rings off the poles, a little hard to see on the video, she was weaving through the poles, picking up the rings on the first pass, and makes it real nice to run down the reeds with the sword. The last part of that video, she was riding Mokakan during the archery portion that she did. Very nice presentation all around.
cool. Next.
All right, and we are down to Duchess Felinah on Tiki.
Good afternoon, Your Majesty Drada. I am Her Grace Felinah, Tifarah, Arnvella, Memo, Hazara, Kana, Dean, and I have the honor of riding Tiki at the gracious allowance of Duke Patrick, and I ride in your honor today. Much better. Very good.
Duchess Felinah, and her presentation was concentrating more on the horsemanship side of things rather than the martial, although she did both the reeds and the quintain quite nicely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
A lot of the stuff that she was working on was the diagonal movement of the horse, getting the horse to cross her legs. This is a challenge on a big horse like that. Tiki's probably 1,600 pounds of horse to get moving sideways, but she's doing a great job with that. She's been working a lot on the horsemanship with Tiki. She rides Tiki on a regular basis. But she rides about as much as I do on her, and she's doing some wonderful work with her.
I think that was our last video, wasn't it?
I believe that was our last video.
Oh, hosts.
Why, Your Majesty, that was the final submission, I believe. So, any last comments, review over all the participants for your championship?
I enjoyed watching these videos. I've watched them, I think I told Duke Patrick this before, like 7 or 8 times each. Because I find the horsemanship just to be so fascinating, and it looks like so much fun, and I am going to get out there and get on a horse. It's going to happen. But yeah, I thank you so much. You all honor me by even creating a video for this, and I really appreciate it. But I think I'm ready to pick a champion.
Wow. So, and who would that be, Your Majesty?
I'm going to go with Duchess Felinah.
Ooh, well, you know what? Let's make this official. Beorn?
Yes, the envelope. One moment, please. All right, and Her Majesty Drada's equestrian champion for this reign will be Her Grace Felinah Tifarah Arnvella Memo Hazara Khan Aldin.
Yay!
Wow.
So impressed with the horsemanship and the way she took command with Tiki, her lovely mount, who is a 2-time champion in a row, correct, Duke Patrick?
Yes.
Wow. Well, Your Majesty, Your Grace, and of course, Beorn, I believe that brings us to the end of this program. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking us to help produce this and get it out on the airwaves. I can say, I just personally enjoy watching the equestrian arts and the combat and such. And what a lovely way to spend a part of my day with such fine people and watching artists exhibiting their craft. So,
thank you guys for hosting this for us, and thank you to all the riders who participated.
yes. And Your Grace, thank you for putting this together and getting the videos and everything to us.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting.
Enjoy your retirement from your 2-year term as champion.
And my 10-year term as equestrian officer. So,
Holy moly, that's a long time.
Well, you're still going to be housing the champion horse, so you're not going to be too far away.
Well, so before we go, Your Majesty, do you have any final words for people watching?
Just wanted to say, hope everybody's having a lovely time. We hope to see you at the Red Star Rapier War that's coming up, and get out to events, start your art, try new things. Let's have fun, Caid.
Yes. All right. Well, that's a great note to end on. Everyone have a great time. Your Majesty, Your Grace, Beorn, we'll see y'all next time. Till then, thank you.
Bye, everyone.